talk in the chapter on power and praise, you talk about how praise always changes something, and often it is our perspective, and that's what you're just saying right now, isn't it? That perspective, to lift our eyes up to him and to say, God, you are worthy. What are you doing? Because the enemy wants us to distract us with all the problems, all the challenges, all the opposition, and that power of praise to lift our eyes.
And the power of praise, it positions you. You see, this, St. John 4:23, it talks about, the Father is looking for those who will worship. And most of us talk about worship, and we talk about, in truth, in spirit and in truth. And I go, no, let's talk about the those. The Father's looking for the those. Who are the those? The those are the babes and the sucklings, the royal priesthoods, the ones who are called up, the ones who recognize the power of what they say actually can shape their atmosphere and their environment. The power of what they say actually can host the presence of God right in the midst of trouble. You see, the 3 Hebrew boys were praisers. The fire killed the men that were heating it. It's funny how, because the words that they spoke, and they said, even if we don't live through this experience, we are not going to bow. What happens is this transaction happens between heaven and earth. In that declaration, they're faced with the fire. The men who heated the fire have died. I'd be a bit scared, because they've heated the fire and they died close to it. And I'm walking to this fire and I'm finding myself that I'm actually not burning. What's going on? Then I find myself in the fire, not consumed by it, but I look up and there is a 4th man in the fire. And I'm like going, whoa, is this beyond my wildest dream? Maybe I didn't expect this, but I actually believe that praise, actually, the fact that they wouldn't bow and worship anything else, but they wanted to praise the true and living God, that was the key that gave them divine protection. Now, we ain't in the fires, literal fires, but we're talking about some of the stuff we're going through right now. It's like fire. Some of the family issues, some of the stuff in our home, our future's being pulled away from us that we could see. But David says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be where? In my mouth. He didn't say just in my hand, he said in my mouth. And this is where I began to realize the power of praise. That if we in this season, the 3 Hebrew boys came out of the fire and they were not scorched. The power of praise, of hosting the presence of God. Now, I am not going to celebrate the act of praise, because the act of praise is a vehicle that takes me to the reward of worship, which is the presence of God.
That's good.
So your petition in this season, your lament, in the middle of your lament, allow praise. So we call it petition to praise.